we're here after the summer. This is the first game of what is a Champions League season for Newcastle United. We're going to be speaking to Newcastle United fans as we do every single home game. We're also going to be speaking to Aston Villa fans. There's a lot to discuss this week on what the season expectations are for not only Aston Villa but for Newcastle. Will they be able to match last season? What is the expectation? What are the thoughts on the brand new signings? And with the transfer window still open, what Newcastle fans expect? Don't forget to follow, subscribe and everything like that. Click below, makes a massive difference to the channel, and here we go. Right, so we're here before the season kicks off. So where will Newcastle finish at the end of the season? What's your thoughts?
In the top 10, I would say. Top 10.
Why do you think top 10? Because obviously that's a big decrease from last season. Is it because of the players who signed the transfer market or what?
I think it's because last year we were a bit of an unknown quantity, but this year teams will be ready for us. So I think we'll have a bit more of a challenge, and I'll be pleased with the top 10 finish.
Top 10, yeah.
Top 6 for me.
Yeah.
Top 6, I think, again, other teams will have got a measure of us, but still Eddie's got something in his back pocket, I'm sure.
So you think that other teams have improved? Because you've got the likes of Chelsea who've spent big money, lots of other teams. Is that why maybe you're putting them down a little bit?
Well, other teams have invested heavily, there's no doubt about it. And I mean, we've come in for a lot of criticism from some of the other clubs, the likes of Liverpool, who have invested heavily in the market, who'll be after us this season, there's no doubt. So that's the main reason for me. Yeah.
The transfer window's still open at the moment. Who do you still want fetching in? What's the positions that we need strengthening or position?
Central defender, possibly a left back, ideally another striker.
Yeah, cover for Wilson.
Cover for Wilson and Isak, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need another striker. I think Gordon can fulfil that role if needs be, but I think definitely a centre-back for me, just to cover for Sharon Botman.
Gordon played that position in the under-21s. What did you make of that? Did you watch him? You think he's obviously competent?
I thought he was on fire. Yeah, I think he could do a job for us, definitely. Especially with the likes of Bruno and Tonali in behind him, passing the ball up to him. I think he could do a real job.
That's the next thing. So the signings that we've made so far, I want to get your thoughts on it. So Harvey Barnes, what's your thoughts on him?
I think he's a brilliant signing, to be perfectly honest with you. I think he's an upgrade on St Maximin.
So you're happy with that? It was almost a trade, wasn't it? So you're happy with the trade?
Happy with the trade, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think Maxi was a lot of flair but no end product, whereas Barnes is the other way around. There's a lot of end product there, and that's what we need.
Yeah. We're next signing Tonali.
Tonali, well, he's proven international, isn't he? He's a strong midfield player, good holding midfielder. Hopefully he'll release Bruno to push forward.
Yeah, how on earth we've prized him away from AC Milan, I have no idea. But he's their star boy, isn't he? So yeah, we've done a massive number on them. I think he'll be fantastic.
Does he need bedding in time? The last fans that we spoke to, he's obviously not had the best of pre-season, but it's a brand new squad that he's working with. Does he need time to bed in, do you think? Or do you think he'll be chucked straight in today and for the next few matches?
I kind of hope he'll be eased in the same way as Bruno was. Give him time to acclimatise, give him a bit of game time, but maybe bring him on as a sub for the first few matches.
Yeah, Eddie Howe doesn't do throwing players in at the deep end. Bruno was, I think it was six games before he got a start for us, so I'd like to think he'll do the same with Tonali, definitely.
The other signing that we did, Livramento, 35 million, thoughts on him?
Well, it's a bit of an unknown quantity, but I'm sure, I mean, on the one hand, you look, he's been injured for a year and he's a young lad. On the other hand, the club will have done their homework, and I'm sure that before he was injured, he would have been a fantastic investment. So hopefully, now he's fully recovered and ready to go.
Yeah, in Eddie and the team we trust. They know far better than we do. So yeah, I'm happy to trust them. If they think he's good, I think he's good.
They've obviously getting rid of Ashby on loan, who was seen as Trippier's position. So Livramento, do you think he's higher up in the pecking order?
I would like to think so, but I can't be 100% sure at the moment. Wait and see.
Yeah, I agree. I think Livramento's potentially a bit more versatile. Ashby's got a bit more development to do, but there's no reason once Trippier retires that they couldn't both play a role.
Yeah, we're in the Champions League for the first time in a long time. What's your expectations, and is there a team you would like to see Newcastle play?
I think the expectation this year has just got to be to have a good time and enjoy it really, and see how far we can get. I haven't got any expectations about progressing beyond the group stage at this, but I'd like to see a couple of big teams here. I'd like to see Barcelona come, for example, again. Any big Italian team.
Yeah, I agree. As a seasoned Newcastle fan, I'm used to not having much hope, so it's slightly different this time around. But just have fun with it, I think. And one of the big boys, I think, and then another smaller team would be good.
Yeah. And then early season predictions here. So quick fire ones. Top goal scorer this season. Who's it going to be?
Isak.
Isak.
Yeah, I'd agree, Isak. Yeah.
Yeah. Most assists. This one's a bit trickier because we've got a lot of wingers here.
Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes, yeah.
I'd say Bruno.
Bruno, yeah. Star performer of the season. Who's that going to be?
Anderson.
Anderson, yeah.
It's a tough one, tough call. I think Barnes.
Barnes, yeah. Breakout star of the season.
Breakout star would have to be Lewis Miley if he gets some game time.
Are you expecting him to get game time? He's good in pre-season.
I'm expecting him to get some game time, particularly if we're progressing 4 different competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Miley, and I can see him getting game time in the cups, definitely.
Yeah. And then what we're asking for now is an outlandish claim, so something that's like 40 to 1 at the bookies or something like that, something involving Newcastle. Prediction this season.
To get the Champions League final.
Right, okay.
Yeah, to do the double on Man City.
Yeah. Perfect. And then Diaby, we missed out on him. We got Harvey Barnes instead. Who do you think, we're playing them today, who do you think is going to have the better season in terms of goals and assists, are you predicting?
Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes, yeah.
I think so, yeah. I think.
Yeah, it's all about the team around the player, and I think we've got a better team around Harvey Barnes than they do around Diaby. So, yeah, I think Barnes.
Yeah, and what do you think opposition-wise? What do you think of Aston Villa this season? Obviously, they've got a hell of a manager, had a hell of a season last season. What's your expectations for them this season?
I think they'll do well. I think they'll get a top 10 finish, if not higher as well.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle and Villa are in the same bracket this season.
For now, yeah, I agree. I kind of hope Aston Villa do well, but just not against us, and I hope we do better than them, but I'd like to see them ruffle some feathers as well.
Yeah, and what we're asking as well is, at the end of the season, who's going to get relegated first of all?
Oh.
I know the transfer window's open, so a lot can still happen, but...
Are you talking Premier League here?
Premier League,
oh,
yeah.
Right,
Are you
Sunderland will
looking
get
for
relegated.
Are you looking for one team? Or?
3, if you can guess the 3.
Oh, God, right. Well, I would say Everton, I think. God, I can't think of any others. You think of some?
I think Luton.
Luton, yeah. Is that nailed on, do you reckon?
I don't think it's nailed on, but I think they've got a long way to go to get themselves up to the standard of the rest of the Premier League. So yeah, possibly them.
Yeah, who else? We've got Sheffield United came up, we've got Burnley that come up, we've got Wolves that are struggling, there's a few.
Yeah. Well, Burnley are a little bit of a yo-yo club, so they could go down again.
Did you watch the match last night, Man City?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
I think they played. Against Man City, it's very difficult to play really well, isn't it? But I think 3-0 was not bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've got 2 so far. Who's the third team going down, do you reckon?
Oh, I don't know. It's so up in the air. I mean, a few years ago, I would probably said Newcastle, but not now. So I really don't know. I'm looking forward to just that being a surprise.
Yeah. And then what we're asking is top 6 predictions as well. So who's going to win the league first of all?
You'd have to be stupid to bet against Man City, I think.
Yeah. Both set on that one, you reckon?
Yeah, I think probably Man City. They feel like the streets ahead of everyone else at the minute. I think there's every chance that we could end up in the top 4 again, like we did last season, But you've got teams like Chelsea and Liverpool, who I'm sure will have the bit between the teeth to teach us a lesson.
Yeah. Who's coming second then?
I wouldn't be surprised if Man United didn't come second with Ten Hag in charge. I think he's going to have a good season this season.
Made some good signings as well. They've got Mount and a few.
Yeah, I agree. I also think West Ham potentially.
West Ham.
Yeah, I think they've sold some big players, so it wouldn't surprise me if they do some more business this transfer window and surprise everyone a little bit like we did last season. But potentially top 10 for them. It wouldn't surprise me if they ended up being top 6.
Yeah. So who's third? Who's finishing third?
Hopefully Newcastle, I think. Hopefully Newcastle. The London clubs haven't done particularly well, and long may that be the case. Long may that be the case.
I think it'll probably be someone like Liverpool.
Yeah. Number 4?
Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
Well, I can't say Liverpool again, so I don't know, Chelsea maybe. Yeah.
5th?
Arsenal, I would think. I mean,
so that's a big drop for Arsenal.
It is a big drop for Arsenal. I think they deserve a big drop, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I forgot about Arsenal, which I shouldn't have really, but yeah, I guess they're going to be in contention. Yeah.
Okay, and then number 6 then?
Well, it'd be a toss-up between Chelsea, Tottenham, West Ham on the outside. A London club, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it could be anyone at this stage. It's literally nobody has any clue.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, the last thing is as well, you're just literally getting Spurs in there. What's your thoughts? Harry Kane's obviously just left. What's that going to do to their season? Where do you anticipate that doing? Will they get bodies in and stuff like that? Will they get him replaced?
Well, they've got a lot of money for him, so they'll probably get replacements. But I think also, I mean, when you have a star player in a team, sometimes they can become too much of a focus. We've seen it with teams before where they have one brilliant player and the whole rest of the team has to kind of focus around them. Be a bit,
Man United,
bit of a more level playing field now, so they might actually improve without him.
Okay. So you think they'll do better without Kane?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but Richarlison's still got to prove himself there for
Jury's
me.
out.
Yeah, massively. So I'd enjoy seeing Tottenham have a bit more of a fall from grace. I would enjoy that.
Where do you reckon then for them?
I don't know. They'll probably still be top 10 somewhere, but probably towards the lower end of that.
Right, okay, so we're here with Newcastle fans.
Hello.
Callum.
Expectations, where are Newcastle going to finish Premier League wise this season?
4th, I think.
Both the same as last time?
Yeah, I think about 5th or 6th with the cup campaigns and obviously the Champions League Europe. I definitely think about 5th or 6th, yeah.
5th or 6th, so that's a downgrade on last season. Is that because of the transfers? Is that because you think the other teams have strengthened? What are you putting that down
I
to?
think Arsenal strengthened, Liverpool and Chelsea have definitely strengthened. I think them are going to be much better than they were last season. But obviously we're us competing in Europe, it's going to be a hard task.
Yeah, we've signed a few players this season already. We've signed, if I can get your thoughts on them, Barnes first of all.
Barnes, he's a good player, like good left wing.
Yeah, he played well. He got a couple of goals in pre-season. I think he's going to be an exciting prospect, definitely.
Tonali.
Oh, unreal. Unbelievable. So calm on the ball, collected. He's obviously from the Italian league, so it may take him a little bit to get up to speed, but what we've seen in pre-season, he's unbelievable.
Is he the best of the signings so far, do you reckon?
Definitely so, yeah. Yeah, I've got to say he's the creme de la creme, like.
He's a good signing. I would say not one of the best, but it's a very good one signing.
Yeah, we're saying Livramento as well, 35 million. What's your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I like him. He looks good from what we've seen. I mean, obviously he had an injury-plagued season last season. Whether he's going to push Trippier out, we'll see. I liked Byrne at the left back, so whether he can push him into centre back and push Livramento onto the left, just wait and see. Just see what he's like.
I like him. He's like a left back and a right back, really.
Yeah.
So I would probably put him on the left instead of the right because Kieran Trippier took that spot already.
It's going to be hard to push Trippier out, definitely. Yeah.
All it really is the extra games, really, that he might have to rotate.
Yeah, but hopefully he's going to get a couple of cup games and sort of ease him in that way.
The transfer window's still open. Eddie Howe's suggested that he wants to bring one more person in. What's that person, in your opinion? What position, firstly, and is there a name?
I haven't got a name in mind, but I think strength and depth, obviously we're getting there. I'd like to see another striker come in. I really would like to see another striker. Who that is, I haven't got anyone in mind, but I just think if Callum Wilson gets injured or Isak, it's going to be hard. I know Anthony Gordon, he's potentially going to be playing up front, but definitely need another striker.
Yeah,
definitely.
he was up front for the European under-21s. Did you watch it? What did you think of him? Because we haven't seen too much of him in a Newcastle shirt. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I thought he was good. He was strong, but an out-and-out striker, whether he can play that role, we'll wait and see. Yeah.
You got someone you want to see fetch in?
I would say the position we need would be a striker and a centre back.
Yeah. Any names?
I would say Saliba, but I feel like he would stay at Arsenal more because I feel like he would. But like,
Centre back.
But I don't know how I sign for. I was signing probably from the Premier League. Someone like, not from like
You were
all
like
the top.
Osimhen from Napoli, didn't you?
Yeah, but I won't,
But he's
like,
going to be too much, way too
Yeah,
much.
I would say Griezmann, but I think we were not going to get him though, because I feel like he's going to stay at Madrid, not at Atletico Madrid. Then we're not going to get him anymore.
Yeah, Griezmann for the experience for the championship, for the Champions League, but he's getting on a bit. Would he come? Would he take that risk and so late in his career? It's something that it's interesting, but it's going to be exciting the last couple of days of the transfer window.
The next set of questions here, we need the top 6 and relegation. So who's going to win the league first of all? Is that Man City? Everyone else has said that.
You cannot look past Man City.
Yeah.
You cannot. I definitely think Liverpool and Chelsea are going to be up there. Potentially Arsenal second or third, but you cannot look past Man City the way they play. Haaland's just he's a robot. You cannot do anything with him. Relegation, you've got to look at Luton going down. The experience just isn't there. Who else? I think Everton's going to struggle. I really do.
Flirted last few years.
I know Sean Dyche is sort of an expert in the relegation battle, but I definitely think Everton are going to be there or thereabouts. One more. Who do you reckon?
Bournemouth, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to struggle. I know they have been in the Premier League, but I just think they're going to struggle this season that much.
New manager coming in for the Premier League, he hasn't got the experience yet. Bournemouth's definitely going to be a struggle this season.
I noticed you never mentioned Tottenham for the top 6. They've just sold Harry Kane. What are you expecting from them this season? Will they improve with the money, or will they...
Levy's tight. My brother-in-law's a Spurs fan, so I've been winding him up with Harry Kane going over the last day. Ange Postecoglou, he's a good coach, but I think he's going to struggle in the Premier League, and especially we're losing Kane, and Son's going to be missing his strike partner, so he's going to struggle, and it's whether they can get someone in, and I can't see Richarlison doing anything spectacular this season.
Right, and then the last set of questions, these are quick fire ones. So Newcastle United only this. Who's the top goal scorer at the end of the season?
Callum Wilson.
Callum Wilson?
Callum Wilson.
17 goals, I think.
17.
Yeah.
18.
18,
Was it?
17.
Oh.
18, I think.
Yeah, most assists this season.
It's this season.
Assists.
I'm going to say Trippier.
Trippier.
Joe Linton, I'm going to go for it, yeah.
Yeah. Star of the season. Who's going to be our best player this season?
Tonali, I think. Oh, Isak.
Tonali.
Yeah, I think Tonali, yeah, definitely.
Breakout star of the season.
Breakout.
I think Elliot Anderson. If he gets a run and he cements that position, I think him.
Yeah, he's had a hell of a pre-season.
Lewis Miley's good, but I feel like he won't get enough time on the squad, but he'll definitely get on.
Yeah.
But probably Elliot Anderson.
And then what's an outlandish Newcastle bet? So like something like 40-1, something that'll happen at Newcastle this season.
Newcastle for the FA Cup.
For the FA Cup?
Yeah, FA Cup winners, yeah.
Yeah, same probably.
Champions League run. We're Champions League for the first time in a hell of a long time. What's your expectations and hopes, and is there any one team that you would like to see in particular?
I'd love to see Real Madrid here. I definitely think we'll get out the groups. Hopefully if we get a kind group. I'd like to see we get the semi-finals at least.
Yeah. Would you prioritise Premier League or Champions League?
Oh, that's a hard one. I always like to finish better in the league, and sort of the Champions League is sort of a free hit for us this season. We can sort of go in with it with no expectations and just play our best football, but I definitely prioritise the league.
Yeah.
Same, because I would like to see Real Madrid here, but I would like to see Munich. So would like it.
Hopefully not beat off them though.
Yeah. Do the cup competitions have to take a back seat to the Premier League and Champions League then?
I'd still like to see we prioritise one of the cups, because obviously we got to the final last year, and I think if Nick Pope was in, we would have potentially got something out of it. But I definitely think we should prioritise one. Yeah, you've got to rotate the squad and give a couple of the youngsters a go, but Champions League, Premier League, yeah, I'd like to see the FA Cup take priority. Maybe the Carabao Cup take a back seat, but prioritise the league. We've got to finish as high as possible.
And have we signed enough people to be able to compete on all fronts?
I think we're still a little bit thin. I know Eddie Howe's just wanting one more player, maybe he's one or two. Maybe he's a youngster, a breakthrough star. But I definitely think we do need another striker and potentially one more youngster, just this cover, basically.
Oh, lovely.
Right, so we're here ahead of the first game with
Billy? Mark?
And what's your thoughts on the season? Where are you expecting this to go?
Well, I'd like to think we could improve on last season, but I think that's going to be rather difficult with all the other sides spending a bit of a few quid just as much as we have.
Yeah.
If we could finish in the top 6, I'll be rather happy and get another good cup run. I'll be more than
League as well, what you think
Champions
about
League, I know we're an unknown quantity to some sides, as much as that to us, so we've got nothing to fear. Just go for it.
Yeah, Champions League, they've got to come here. They've got to get behind this massive fan base. They're going to be going crazy on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. So there's a lot of factors there. Don't worry about Champions League, but Premier League, top six would be good. Yeah. Top six is great.
Transfers so far, I want you to rate them, how well you think. So Harvey Barnes, first of all.
I think he's a very good signing. Don't get us wrong, he's probably skillful while he's not as good as Maxi. But as a workhorse, he'll do a job and he'll get more goals than Maxi would ever think of.
Yep.
Top scorer for Leicester for the last 2 seasons. That's nothing to be sniffed at.
Would you have traded Maxi for him, yeah?
Definitely,
Yeah.
because he was more of a team player.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the friendly on Sunday, he scores 2. Maxi gets into those positions and tries to make it look too nice, and he tries to put it in the top corner, he just taps it in. Simple stuff.
Yeah. Then we've got Tonali. Now, he's a top class player. He's had a bit of a bad pre-season, you'd say, if you're being honest. What's your thoughts on him this season? What's your expectations?
I think he'll do exactly what he did to Bruno when he first come. Put him on the bench, let him watch it, get a feel for the pace of the game and just fetch him on, ease him in. And once he's in there and he's settled in, I think he'll be one of the main assets. In fact, I think he'll come as good as what Bruno will.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried Italians don't tend to do well in the Premier League. They get a bit homesick, but he is a good footballer. And he can win tackles, give it to Bruno. Bruno can play a little bit further up the pitch, create a little bit more further up the pitch. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
More goals and assists from Bruno this season then, yeah?
That's what we want.
Livramento, 35 million, firstly.
Well, to me, he's an unknown quantity. But what the papers and pundits are saying, he could be the next Gareth Bale. If he could be half as good as him and learn off Trippier, we're in for some player in a black and white shirt for a few seasons. And if that's the case, I'll be over the moon.
Mate, I would start him today at left back, just to try and counteract Diaby running, because he's got pace to burn as well. And Livermento's got pace to burn. He'll be all right. He's got a year of learning, and then after that, next season is when he comes into his own. He's the one for the future, not this time. He's not here for this season. Trippier's the man for at the moment.
What's your thoughts on Ashby as well, what we loaned out? Because it seemed like he was his understudy, and then we brought Livramento in his right back. Does that push him further down the pecking order?
Not necessarily, because he's pushed Ashby out to get experience and play more regular football. You cannot have both of them, so he's pushed one out to get regular football, and I think what you call Livramento will get it because of all the competitions he's in. And so if Trippier gets an accident, he might just get a good run.
Yeah.
So win-win scenario for both players, I think.
It is. And then who are you wanting to sign the rest of the window? The window's still open.
I would like to see a good right-footed centre half come in.
Yeah.
Who's a bit of a ball player as
Is
well.
there a name as well that you want?
Well, there's not many.
Benfica would do me. The lad from Benfica. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he looks okay. Yeah, he'll do the ideal. Or another left back.
Send us, first game of the season with?
Dave. James.
Ian.
Where are we going to finish at the end of this season, Premier League wise, first of all?
Love to finish top 4, but I'd also be happy if we finish top 7. I think top 7 is realistic for this year in the league. What with everything else going on?
Yeah.
5th.
5th, yeah.
5th. Yeah. 5th or 6th, yeah.
Champions League next. How far are we going to go in the Champions League, do you reckon?
We're going to get through the league rounds, and we're going to get into the knockout rounds. I think anything could happen. Anything. And hopefully it will.
I don't think we'll get past the first stage, to be honest.
Is there a team you want, by the way, as well? Is there a team in Europe that you want?
Nah, anyone.
Anyone.
As long as we beat them, anybody. Don't care who they are.
I don't mind, no.
Yeah, no, there isn't a team I want now.
Right, so what we're doing as well, we'll do some quick fire questions first of all. So, top goal scorer this season, who's it going to be?
Isaac.
Isak.
Wilson.
Yeah. Most assists?
Harvey Barnes.
Barnes.
Tonali.
Trippier.
Star player of the season?
Joe Linton.
Joe Linton, yeah.
Barnes.
Bruno.
Breakout star of the season?
Breakout star, Elliot Anderson.
Done well in pre-season?
Miley.
Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah, and we need an outlandish claim, so something that's maybe 40 to 1 or something like that with Newcastle this season.
Right. Sven Botman, hat-trick.
Remember, yeah.
Joe Linton, hat-trick.
No, I can't think of one. No.
Right, transfer window's still open. Is there a signing you guys want? Number one, who's your number one signing?
I'd like to see Kieran Tierney come in from Arsenal. It's been bubbling along all close season, hasn't it? I'd like to see that one over the line, and a centre half.
No signings for me. I'm happy with the squad at the minute.
Yes. Is there not a position that you think that we could strengthen?
Left back, probably. I don't know who, though.
Yeah, Tierney was a shout. Maybe him or not?
someone else. I'm not sure who. Yeah.
No, I think there'll be a signing, but I don't think there'll be anyone we've heard of. I think we're totally wasting time trying to pick names like Tierney out. I think it will not happen, but somebody will come in. That's what I think, yeah.
Are you expecting that any more signings? Eddie Howe said there's one. There seems to be a lot of deadwood that hasn't been cleared out as well. How many more are you expecting?
I think there'll be one more. One more, yeah.
One more.
Yeah, I think we want. Eddie Howe said he wanted one. He didn't say there's going to be one. I think there will be one.
Do you reckon we'll get some of the deadwood cleared as well? Because we've still got a lot of players that you'd expect to be shipped out. Is that going to be a problem for Newcastle?
I think we will, because they're decent players. They play at a decent level. There'll be clubs in the Championship who want them and who'll be prepared to pay for them. So I think we will get them. And there have been servants like the likes of not so much Hendrick, but Hayden and Fraser to an extent. And I think that they've done a good job, and they will get other clubs and be able to get shot.
Yeah. Whoever wants to take it.
I don't think it'll be a problem even if they stay. I don't think whether we ship them out or not is going to be a problem. But I think there's a lot of them he said aren't going out, but I suspect a few will go out the door before the end of the window. Yeah.
We've made some signings so far, so I want you to rate these as well. So Barnes, how happy are you with Barnes? We were going to get the RB, a couple of others. We went for Barnes. What do you reckon?
Do you know what? Barnes, look at his stats, look what he brings. He's a 10 out of 10 for me, signing. Definitely.
Well, we're linked with Diaby. We're playing against him today. Who do you reckon is going to have the better season, Barnes or Diaby?
I think Barnes is, because Barnes has got Eddie Howe as his manager, and he's going to improve him. And Diaby, well, he'll just have to take his chances with Aston Villa, won't he?
Yeah.
Barnes is having a better season.
Barnes, yeah.
Yeah, Barnes is great. Be better than Diaby, yeah.
We got Tonali. Now, he's probably one of the best star players that we've signed in a long time. He's had a bad pre-season. What's your expectations for him going into this season?
I think Eddie Howe will do with him like he did with Bruno Guimaraes when he came in the January. I think he'll play him limited amount of time. I think he'll get used to it. He'll get up to the pace of it. And I think you're right. I think by a few months into the season, he'll be a bit of a star player.
Yeah.
It'll take a while, but by halfway through the season, it's going to be
Well,
class.
by about November, he'll be one of the star men. Yeah.
So are you expecting him to start today then, or do you reckon you bet him in nice and gentle?
Yeah, I don't expect him to start today. I think he will. He'll come on towards the end of games. He'll get his time in, and he'll be a star later on. Yeah.
We've got Livramento, 35 million. What's your thoughts on him and the price tag?
It's quite a frightening price tag, isn't it? A lad who's come back from an ACL injury and then played 2 games last season, but there's a lot of people say a lot of great things about him, and his potential is just limitless. So, do you know what? Yeah, one for the future. Trippier, as fantastic as he is, you can't turn back time, can you? So, if we're playing 40-odd games this season, and this Livramento is as good as I say he is, bring it on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about him yet. I think I'll have to see him play first for at least 2 or 3 games before.
What do you think of the price tag?
It's really hard to tell until you see how quality he is, to be fair, but hopefully it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm happy with him. I think it's a good signing. Price tag is just the way of the world now. That is what they cost. You've got to live with it.
What do you think of Ashby as well? Because he was the protege, and then they're getting someone else in that position. Do you think he's maybe not fancying him, or do you want him maybe just a year out might do his development better?
Yeah, look, if he's not going to play a lot of games, Ashby, because Ashby's still a very young lad, get him out there, get some games under his belt, and you know what? You need to have 2 players in the same position fighting for it all the time, and they're going to have game time with all the competitions that we're going to be in this year, and hopefully every year after this. Yeah, I think it's solid.
Yeah, Ashby's a bit young yet to start, so we need a person to bridge that gap.
Yeah, fair enough, ship him out on loan. That's probably the best thing for him, yeah.
And last question, Aston Villa, from the away side of it, how are you expecting their season to go this season? They've got the manager that we wanted initially. They've had a cracking last season. Done well in the transfer window. Where's the sky for them this season? Where can you see them?
I think they could do very well. I mean, let's be right. That was the one game last season where we got gubbed and properly gubbed. They did to us what we've done to all the teams last season. 3-0 probably flattered us. I think the sky's the limit for them as well. But I still think, well, I'm a Newcastle fan. I still think we're going to do better than them. So if I'm saying Newcastle will finish 4th, then they can do no better than 5th.
They're going to be battling with us for 5th this season, so I think they're our direct competition at the minute, so I'm going to put them 5th or 6th.
Yeah, they're going to be top 6 or 7.
Yeah. Well, actually, what I'll do, Kane's a hot topic at the minute. He's just left Spurs. What do you see that doing for Spurs? Do you think that's going to float them down the league or what?
I think the last few seasons has proven you cannot say anyone's a one-man team, but take his goals out and take some of the assists out, and I think Spurs are in free fall. So I think that's pretty disastrous. I mean, they had to do it for the money, but unless you can replace someone like him, and I'm not sure you can, I think they're going to have a tough season.
Where's tough? Mid-table?
I think they'll do well to be top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put them 11th or 10th after losing Kane. He's a star player for them. Without them, they're not much of a threat, really.
Yeah, they'll struggle. They'll be down there. Yeah.